Good day, good love, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. It is once again in divine grace and gratitude that I, Wendy, share with you today a little cup of inspiration. Thank you all for being with us today. I'm Wendy, this is Dave, and
Hello.
Among other things, along with the languages of light, my highest joy, along with connecting and channeling and co-creating with all of you and our physical and non-physical ET friends, all the way up and down the frequential lines. And it's been a little while since I've made a video like this, and I just wanted to share this brief synchronicity with you guys. It's getting dark here. We're in South Florida. It's been a rainy day all day, and when I come across these synchronicities, if you've been watching my channel for a little while, thank all of you. Thank you all for all your comments, your love, your support. Thank you all if you're new to the channel. One of the things I love sharing is synchronicities and when they happen. And we often don't share these synchronicities when they happen because we, like me, also think, well, you know, it's not important to somebody else, it's not worth sharing, but yet I realize it's in the sharing that we discover more and more of all that we are. And one of the ways that I do that, and I've explained a little bit in my About Me on my website, Languages of Lights, my journey began and included the connecting with the Sasani people, the Bashar's race from the planet Sasani. And so they and the Syrians, Pleiadians, Lyrans, angels, of course, the Elohim, all of them I've been connecting with for such a long time, but the beginning of my journey really began when I found the words "You Create Your Own Reality" from Seth, which led me to finding, channeling, finding Bashar, finding all of you, and starting this Languages of Light's channel when I began speaking light languages and connecting with these various beings. But it was really in connecting with the Sasani people, that brought me to this idea of living in synchronicity. And they live by complete synchronism. They don't plan anything because they know they need to know. They're going to know what they need to know, when they need to know it, how they need to know it, if they need to know it, not sooner, not later. And so I think many of us are gearing toward that idea of surrendering really means just going with the flow of synchronicity and allowing. And I'm the first to admit I'm in resistance with a lot of things that I feel like I can't control. And so I think that that's what brought me to this inspiration today, is because it's been a little while since I've shared some synchronicities with all of you. And so in my journey these last few months, I haven't been doing a lot of videos because I also, like many of you, have been going inside and taking this time to really look inside of ourselves to discover more and more of all that we are. And in doing so and connecting with the Sasani and my counterpart there, as I know to be Echo, I'm understanding more and more of, and seeing so many more of you also connecting. And I will shout out to Darren, connecting with his hybrid children, and how all of these things are helping us connect with our hybrid children, our galactic families, the beings that are going to be sharing their life here and co-creating this new hybrid race here on Earth with us. And
hello, Billy.
And hello, Billy. Billy is Darren's hybrid son, and so we've been enjoying his videos as well. And so part of that is all of this that was inspired me also to remind all of you, if you're new to my channel, I've got like over 1,000 videos, and a lot of it is connecting with the hybrid children. How we do this, how do we do it through meditation, water, nature, flowers, the things that we eat, cooking. So Darren does a lot of cooking with Billy, and I'll put a link to his channel. And we're going to be doing some more videos coming up, and we're also starting, if we haven't mentioned in a little while, Open Contact TV. It's a YouTube channel that Dave and I are beginning, and it's to invite all of us and all of you to not it's sort of an extension, of course, of channeling and languages of lights, but it's more geared toward all of us and all of you in open contact, in all the ways we're open in contact with our multidimensionality, and by doing that, we're inviting our galactic families to be with us, because we're raising our vibration to at least meet them halfway and learning and expanding. And I was very excited in my journey to come across this Galactic Heritage deck of cards, along with Lisa Royal Holt's sequence of videos as she explains these cards, and how our galactic heritage, how it began from source, the moment from source, and when separation began. And it tells our entire story, if you will, from their perspective of Germaine, the being that she channels. And has been through these videos these last, I would say, few weeks, and we're actually on to almost the last video yet to be watched. And a lot of synchronicities happened today that I just really wanted to share with all of you. It's springtime here, coming up here in the Northern Hemisphere, so a lot of flowers are beginning to bloom, a lot of particular colors. We have a beautiful, beautiful floral bushes out front, of bougainvillea. So this color, oh, and the hummingbirds are coming, and the hummingbirds love the color red, they love the color fuchsia. So I was talking to Dave about the color fuchsia today, and magenta, and I was just feeling this energy of, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I got this fuchsia and green, so I was feeling this kind of, really how that colors look together, and springtime and flowers, and it just so happened that I was getting dressed, and I tried on a few different colors, and if you've been watching my channel for a little while, it's something I talk about a lot, about how we connect with ourselves, connect with our chakra system, and we're guided to wear certain things, certain colors, eat certain things, look at certain flowers to activate certain things that we need in that day. And so a lot of the cooking that we do, and a lot of the nature brings us in connection with all of this, which raises our vibration, allows us to become higher versions of ourselves, which helps us more. It activates, illuminates, and enhances the connections that we have and are able to have with these higher dimensional beings, higher vibrational beings, whether it's your higher self, whether it's your guides, whether it's your angels. All of these are all parts of ourselves in which all of us have different connections to in the now, for everything's now. The past is not the past, the future is not the future. Everything's happening right now, simultaneously, in parallel realities. And once we begin to understand that, we begin to understand that we're connecting to all of these things billions of times per moment, billions, and it's difficult for us to even conceive that. So in my journey along today, and along with my journey these last several years, has been about synchronicity and synchronism, and even some of the messages that I've been getting these last few days. I haven't really shared these with anyone yet. And this I did on the end of February, which was a 13-day, which if you look at the sacred circuits from Sirius, 13 is about transform. And so that day, it was transform your belief system, but if you look how it's spelled with flowers and belief, so it was showing me, even in that moment, my connection with nature and my belief systems, and how spending time in nature allows us to examine our belief systems in ways that we haven't before, because we're not resistant, we're open. Right now, if you can hear it in the background, there's waves and birds. We just play it from YouTube on the system to additionally connect with our higher selves, our guides, the avian collectives, the nature spirits. And so if you can see, these are also galactic symbols that come to many of us. 5-6 years ago, I couldn't find hardly anybody to even talk about these things, and light circuitry, changing our DNA, activating these things within us.
And whale songs.
And whale songs. Very activating. So I'm glad you brought that up. Whale songs and dolphin. And so that day, they were saying to me through this creating new thought patterns by restructuring our reality. So, and if we know, and we know too that sacred geometry exists in all nature, and we know that. Something we've been sharing a long time. Science is already familiar with this, of course, and we understand the connection to all things in all creation through mathematics, sacred geometry, and so forth. So, as many of us are guided to these symbols, this came through on the 28th, and they said to me, traveling through parallel reality and different time streams, and how we're actually creating time, and how these symbols literally help us identify, I guess, with other time structures outside of time, outside of the constraints of time, and being able to connect with higher dimensional parts of ourselves. And I'll print this out too. I mean, I'll share it on my website too, Languages of Light. And I haven't been posting a lot lately because I've really been spending a lot of time going inside, examining my own negative belief systems, my limiting belief systems. Where am I holding myself back? How am I doing it? How am I allowing circumstances to guide me instead of synchronism, instead of surrendering to the things that if we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that our higher self is guiding us all the time, then we don't really have, doubt is just the fear that we're doing something wrong, or that being ourselves is somehow not the right thing to do. And these symbols literally help deconstruct these limiting belief systems while allowing to activate this galactic DNA, while allowing us to process higher thought. And so I thought it was interesting that, so also this morning I was receiving this idea again of outside of time, of thinking outside of time. Time is not fixed, it is fluid. And so this idea of that time is fluid, and we're beginning to feel the malleability, how time we're not experiencing time the same way we were a week ago, a day ago, a month ago, certainly not 5 years ago. And for so many of us. And so as we were doing the reading today, I had already gotten dressed, and we're watching the video, and we realized the cards that she pulled for the day, all the same color I was guided to wear. Not only that, but it is one thing that Dave and I have been discussing a lot in the last few days this week is integrity. Integration, integrity, but living in integrity. Living in integrity, not just speaking it, but living it. And how, and it's just so interesting that just happened to be the Esasani cards. And so each one of these, and I encourage all of you, if you're interested in this, start at the beginning. Watch the videos from card number 1 all the way through. It's a fascinating journey. It has been activating for me and Dave as well in our dream states and our waking states, allowing us to understand where these things are coming from that we're all going through right now. And it just so happened that Dave didn't have a shirt on, and I said, hey, I want to do a video. Went to his drawer, pulled out, swear to God, you guys, the top shirt, same color. So this beautiful fuchsia. And did you want to say something? I felt like you wanted to say something.
Well, I just wanted to say, if you're going to watch these videos, don't binge watch them. They're around 20 minutes or so a piece. But you need a little bit of time to integrate the information
really do.
in between each video.
I mean,
otherwise
we're guided to binge watch, and we're like, wait a minute, what? It's almost like and many of them we've watched over because we're like, oh my God, I absorbed so much information, but I don't remember. Like, it was so in depth, and then when you listen to it again, it's like you remember everything, but now it's integrating into. And what I realized today was it was so beautiful that I realized we're almost at the end of the cards, and for all of you who are watching this, we're in the same vibration. We can't be, or we wouldn't be having this conversation together. And I was really emotional when I realized, as I'm feeling this, that because I began my journey with the Sasani and coming into all of this that way, but it made me realize that all of us that are here together this way, we're here. We're here. We've made it to, like, we're at the last part of the journey. It's like this is like the hardest. We've been through the hardest parts.
So the interesting thing is,
oh yes,
your symbol here. When I first saw it, it looked to me like it said the end.
Oh my gosh. Well, and I'm looking at the colors even of this blanket behind us, this pinks and greens and all this, and so that's very interesting that you saw that. That's, you know.
I mean, it doesn't really look like that, but
that's what you felt, and so that is almost like we're at the end of we're at the hardest part of the journey, and even I just had to run outside. It's raining because we're in South Florida and in the United States, and it's most of the time it's pretty warm here, and so we've got a lot of palm trees, as many of you guys know, and I don't think you can see out the window, but I don't know if I'll even be able to, if you guys can see it, but outside the window on these palm trees are these beautiful red, I don't know, what are these, seeds, berries, same color. So I had to run out in the rain to go get one for you so I could show you seeds. Again the same color seeds. We're planting the seeds. Star seeds, you guys. So we've been talking a long time about how all of us are star seeds, and this is it. We're coming together, I hesitated even. It's getting dark, or it's getting dinner time, and I hesitated to even do the video. But it was like, it's so easy for us to talk ourselves out of this stuff in that moment because we have fears, self-doubts. I do too, just like you guys. And yet I'm looking at this, and you know, to live in integrity is to share. And we talk about this all the time, sharing. Because at the end of the day, what really else is there than sharing our experiences with each other? And that's what I've discovered along this journey through these cards most of all it really is Source having a journey into the darkest place, coming all the way back as it's never been done before, the 6th and 7th hybrid races that have never been created before, ever in creation. This is why we all came. And it all came kind of crashing in like the waves today in this emotional alchemy, which is the next card. And again, the chakras, the rainbow, we talk a lot about rainbows around here. And I wanted to show you too, I just wanted to show you this basket. I looked down, you guys, and I had this little basket, same colors, the green, the fuchsias, along with some orange and lime. And so, but again, it reminded me of, you know, this beautiful rainbow that we all are. And 103, and all of these are the Esasani, and here we are, spiritual sovereignty. Sorry, I'm talking a little while. And this is where we're at. We literally are moving into the remembering of our connection to Source, waking up with the dream. You know, waking up in the dream, and every day I say, I just want to wake up. I want to wake up in the dream and remember everything and remember who I am. And so the alchemy of that, bringing all of ourselves together and accepting. And this has been a thing that we've been talking about for a little while in the last few days also, is acceptance. Accepting, there's so much more to it than that I could go on and on, but I did want to keep this as brief as possible. But I knew that there was a message in here for all of you too, that we're at that place of spiritual sovereignty, and that leaving home was really the dynamic message with that to me today was exactly what Jermaine said, leaving the comfort of the limiting beliefs, leaving home, knowing that the comfort of things that no longer serve you, we have to leave home in order to experience all that we are. And the literal sense that when we leave home, we leave the nest, so to speak, and even when all of us now, like I'm getting the message now, even when we can't leave home, how we remember this is where home is. You know, each other. As I said to Dave yesterday, looking into our eyes, his eyes, that's home. This is where we know we are, the window and the windows to our souls. And so I just felt it was really an important message to share with all of you. And I really love I love the way these things come together, and the way the messages and the colors and the way we are interacting with with each other right now, and how really even leaving home, we've had to, even in my own experiences staying home, I've really been leaving those comfort zones, even in meditations. And it was interesting this morning, even in my meditation this morning, before I even realized that this was the card that were coming up next in the video, that I was seeing the two triangles, and really literally one triangle point, the apex is coming together, and literally as we would see the six-pointed star, but literally crossing each other as two ships, as triangular ships, but yet it was like this merging of our energies. And so it was very powerful, and the trinary, Trinity, that idea of the number three, the integration. And today is equals 14, which is connect. So I really wanted to reconnect. I wanted to reconnect with all of you. And we've been talking a lot about reconnecting and connecting in new ways, doing things in new ways, stepping out of my own comfort zone in a lot of ways, and really inspiring all of us to really step out of our comfort zone. And that was another thing, sunflowers. The tea that we're drinking today is sunflowers and tulips and sunflower tea. And so it's like all of this idea of spring, seeds, flowers, blooming. The hummingbirds. I've even done videos about hummingbirds and showing us how they show us how we're constantly moving through parallel realities billions of times per second, just by looking at their wings and how fast they go. They become almost invisible. Well, that's what we are. We're spirit. We're really invisible. And if we understand our higher self is always there with us, and I'm reminded too by my guides. And so I wanted to just take these few minutes to, if it would inspire some of you also, to just take a few moments. And even if you can't, even if it's still cold where you are, it's winter. I started my channel in the dead of winter, north of Chicago. It was very cold, and I want to thank all of you, for those of you who have been with me from the beginning and the middle, and because everything's now. See, this is the best part. There is no before, there is no tomorrow. There's only now. We only have now, and Dave reminds me of that all the time. Whenever I hesitate to do something that I love and not follow my highest joy, he reminds me, there is only now. So that's really what a lot of these messages are all about, is be in the synchronicity. There is only now. And it's okay to leave home. It's okay to leave the comfort of our limiting belief systems and bloom. Was there anything else you'd like to add to that? I think that was all the message that I had for today. No? Okay.
Thank you for your co-creation.
Thank you for your co-creation. And there's so much love, so reach out to me, reach out to Dave. I've still been doing private sessions, so I wanted to thank all of you for that. And I wanted to clarify that, just since I was just guided to mention it. My private sessions are by voluntary donation. I do them because I love them. I love you. I love all of us. I want all of us to expand. If you want to make a donation to my channel one time, I've got availability where you can do like a recurring, very small donation. Even a whole year's donation would equal like a one session. And so it was just something I've been guided to do. And so following the session, if if you want to send a gift, if you want to send a donation, that's great. I forgot my bag, but that was another thing. I've got some videos that I've been meaning to do, and people I wanted to thank and acknowledge for a lot of the gifts, physical gifts that I received here in my mailbox. And so I wanted to point that out too, that abundance isn't about just money. And one of the things that Dave and I are also been very active in is about this new global monetary system, and really sharing our gifts and abilities and understanding that the value is right here. The value is in what you have to give in your gift. And so that's how I do my sessions now. And with the encouragement of all of you, it's as simple as that. If you want to, great. If you don't, you don't. But I do it anyway. I offer my love and my time, because I realized I would just do it anyway, and I was doing it anyway. Even if they didn't have the monetary funding, I was always excited to accept whatever gifts and however, and whatever abundance and whatever way it came, and whatever that person was able to give. Did you want to add something to that?
The abundance is the sharing.
It is, exactly. This is the abundance, and that's how I feel whenever I get the privilege to spend time with any of you. It is about the time we spend together, and any other abundance comes in all the other ways that we always need. We always have what we need when we need it, even if we don't believe that. So that's how I handle the sessions. If you need more clarification, please do let me know. And actually, Dave and I are also, if it's something that you guys want to do, we're offering even to do them together. If it's something that you want to share our energy, enjoy Dave's input. I've even been encouraging to see if he wants to do it by himself. But but a lot of times it's just about the overall sharing. And so that we're here for that as well. So I guess I was just guided to throw that out there. It's something that we don't even have listed on the website. So again, it's at Languages of Lights, and all the information and stuff is in the description here of the videos. It always is. I try to keep it as brief as possible, just put the links. So I've had a few people ask me about that, because not everybody operates that way, and sometimes it is a little confusing. So I wanted to clarify, because I've had several of you over the last few weeks since I made the change to my website. Because I did used to have fixed charges and fixed ways I did things. But what I discovered is it's always beautiful and unique and different every single time. And if somebody wants something that I'm able to give in a different way, then I will always do my best to do that. So I just realized it was kind of silly to have all of this separate stuff, and it never really worked out that way anyway. So it is whatever it is when I'm guided, and it all comes through how it comes through, whether it's channeling, whether it's light languages, whether it's drumming, whether it's sound healing, whether it's singing, voice activations, all of those things. Just receiving the information that you need, that you're just using us as your permission to give you the information you already know inside your heart. So I think that's it.
Yep.
With that said, love you guys. Off to dinner time for us. And we're here for you. So much love. Mahala. Namaste.